Hi, I'm Meghan Sharp.
And I'm Faith Cain with the Wildcat Report. The Millard West Choir Department presents the most wonderful time of the year on December 17th at 7 p.m.
And to get into the concert, you must bring a coat or a canned food, and that's your admission to get into the concert.
Speaking of music, the band concert was on Tuesday, December 10th.
Every year, the Millard West Band hosts a holiday concert, and with lots of practice, the band is finally ready for their first performance. Hoping their hard work paid off, most of the band members look forward to the concert.
It's so much fun. You have all the Christmas carols that you get to play, and everyone knows the songs, and it's just a ton of fun.
On one of the pieces, I actually get to play timpani, which is a pretty fast-paced piece.
I'm looking forward to the cookies afterwards.
Rebecca, Nick, and Zachary compared the similarities and differences of practicing and performing.
Practicing, if you mess up, you can stop and start over and keep working on it so you don't mess up. Performing, if you make a mistake, you have to keep going.
And you get one chance and that's it.
We try to make practicing almost exactly like how we perform it, because if you rehearse it that way, it'll be that way on stage.
Performing on stage is different for each person. It can be lots of fun and nerve-wracking at the same time.
People, they make you really nervous, and all the preparation you put into it, you just kind of think, well, what if I get this wrong? You think about all the mistakes you made, but in the end, it's really good just to look back and think how great of a job you've done.
The hardest part about performing would have to be like the few faces that you see when the lights are shining on you, like your parents clapping for you, and it makes you nervous.
Well, performing a solo is really scary. I kind of get stage fright. Well, I get a little nervous, but with a band, you just have a whole group of people around you, so it's not as scary, I guess. I mean, I get a little nervous for it still, but it's so much fun to be with the band and your friends.
In order to increase attendance at band concerts, band performers say why students should come watch them perform.
Students should come and see this concert because it's so much fun. Like, there's music for all types. There's like Hanukkah music and Christmas music.
Who doesn't love music?
A lot of people don't really know what band really does, so coming is just to see what happens, and the music's really cool, and you get really caught up in it when you listen to it. It's an exciting experience.
The show was a success, and Zachary, Nick, and Rebecca are already looking forward to the next concert. This has been Lillian Griffith with the Wildcat Report.
Band doesn't only play at their own concerts, they also play at every home basketball game. And at the last basketball game, our new club, West Friends, had their first outing.
West Friends is an after-school club that builds relationships between students with and without special needs.
Zepka and Josh Weber are two of the many alternative curriculum program educators, and they have come up with an opportunity for Millard West students to bond and become a better school.
We decided to come up with a club where anybody and everybody was included. It just wasn't, for a specific type of person or somebody that has a specific interest. It was a club where anybody could get involved, and you kind of embrace the fact that you're there to meet new people and be exposed to different opportunities.
As many as 50 students have volunteered, and with this club being a student-led club, they get to decide what trips they would like to go on. There are at least 5 people from each grade, and they're ready to get excited and meet new friends.
Getting to know a bunch of different people and kind of changing the way I think about kids that are in special education and just having fun.
It's just a good opportunity to help out with the special needs kids at the school and help them get to know people in the school better, and so they can feel more like a family and have friends.
What's Friends is when we can learn how to communicate with other students that are not special needs.
They're excited to meet new friends, new people. A lot of times they're isolated down in our neck of the woods, so they don't get out as much. They maybe one gen ed class a day, so they're excited to meet new students.
I'm excited to get to go out and have activities with them and get to play with them and get to know them better.
Did you know that?
As I go along, I'm sure that I'll think of a lot more things to do. I am kind of new to this situation, so I don't have tons of ideas, but I know as it goes along, I'll know.
Because I like to meet new people. I'm excited to get to know the people I never met and try to make friends, a lot of friends.
The more students that sign up for Weston Friends, the more successful the club will be. Weston Friends' first outing was planned to be December 13th at the Millard West girls basketball game.
The show choir had their red carpet premiere on December 9th at 6 and 7:30.
These shows this year were free, and it was a good way to kick off their season. There's a baseball meeting coming up on December 17th at 3:25 in room 132. So if you're interested in trying out for baseball, you might want to attend the meeting.
Speaking of sports, let's slide on over to Sports Corner.
The 2013-2014 winter sports seasons have officially begun. All sports but wrestling have participated in their season opening events. The varsity girls basketball team kicked off their season against Lincoln Southeast, last year's state champions. They beat them and continued on to play the #1 team in state, Bellevue West. They defeated the Thunderbirds and are now ranked #1 in state. A title is already in reach for the Wildcats.
I think the season will go great. I think we have a great chance of winning state.
The JV girls basketball team has played 3 games so far and has won each one 15 points or more. The reserve girls team had their first game on the 12th against Bryan and easily ran away with the win against the team. The freshman girls team played Omaha South in their first game of their high school season careers and won. The varsity boys basketball team also played against Lincoln Southeast for their season opener. With a low shooting percentage, lost by 5 to the Knights. They came back the next day and swept Kearney 62-53. Regardless of their first loss, the boys have high hopes for their season.
I think the season will go good. We have a young team, but we have a lot of talent returning, and I guess everyone else lost a lot of good people, and good coaches. It'll be a good year.
The JV boys team is 2-1, with a loss against Omaha South by 6. The reserve boys defeated Omaha South last Tuesday, and the freshman A and B teams both won their first and only games so far as well. The swim and dive season is off to a strong start. The Wildcat swimmers had a metro meet against Millard South, Millard North, and Papillion La Vista. They took home first place. The dive team went to a Millard South invite, and many of the Wildcat divers took first place and qualified themselves for state.
I'm most excited to see if I'm going to make it to state.
In case you didn't know, Millard West has a varsity hockey team. They are currently undefeated. They play all their home games at the Tranquility Hockey Rink, and students are encouraged to come to the games.
Well, they're fun to watch, and it's a lot of fun because the crowd gets excited about everything, and it's just fun to see a good check into the boards, and when we score, it's fun to watch all the fans go crazy.
With an undefeated record, the team hopes to keep hold of their state title and win it all again this year.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely win the state title this year.
This is Spencer Brett, the Wildcat Sports Corner. Thanks for watching.
DECA will be holding an event on January 10th at the girls and boys basketball game versus Omaha Central. Team Jack and Team Evan shirts will be sold for $10. The Pancake Man tickets for $6 and $20 per family will be sold on the 17th and 18th. Please come out and support pediatric brain cancer. At every boys and girls basketball game, there will be a black Camaro out front that is being raffled off. There are still 19 days to get your tickets.
Have you got your tickets yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, I got a ton because I'm about to win that Camaro, but it'd be kind of scary to drive a Camaro for the first time in the winter. I mean, I wouldn't want to wreck it.
Well, why don't we give you some driving tips for the winter?
I was driving down Q Street, and out of nowhere, this lady in a blue Honda CR-V pulled out in front of me at about 15 feet. So I was about 15 feet away from her, from where she pulled out, and didn't have enough time to stop because I slid on ice. So I hit the back of her going about 25 miles an hour, I would say.
It's that time of year. Snow has been falling. That means driving conditions are at a high, and we were able to get a ride with our own Deputy Miller on winter driving tips.
The main thing that I tell all people, and especially teen drivers, when it comes to the winter and you've got sand on the street, snow, occasionally ice, and that's just slow down and be patient.
I make sure I drive very cautiously in the winter to ensure that myself or my little sister doesn't get hurt by a car.
You have to leave a little bit earlier to get wherever you're going and give yourself a little bit of extra time because you know traffic's going to move slower. And I usually find that when people are in a rush and trying to get somewhere fast, that's when they end up getting in an accident.
According to the University of California at Berkeley Institute of Transportation Studies, almost 900 people are killed and nearly 76,000 people are injured each year in car crashes during snowfall, making the winter season a prime concern for teen drivers.
It's a lot different than what you're used to, and it takes practice, and just because you think that it's not slick roads, it probably is, and you just can't see the ice.
Make sure that you're staying at or under the speed limit and that you're being patient, not making quick decisions. Then it's less likely you'll make mistakes. Think about what you do.
I learned to drive more cautiously. Beforehand, I didn't drive to the conditions of the road as I should have. So now I know to drive slower when it's slick out and to ensure that I keep a far enough distance away from cars that are in front of me.
Driving in the winter can cause some concerns, but as long as you take precautions given to us by Deputy Miller, you will have a safe drive. This has been Faith Cain and Megan Sharp reporting.
Congratulations to Melissa Schramm for being named to the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City's Omaha Branch Economic Education Advisory Council.
Her role will be to advise the Federal Reserve's education programming.
Honestly, they just asked me if I would be willing to be on the council. I don't know what their selection process was, to be quite honest. They just contacted me. And the Federal Reserve Bank gives a lot of wonderful information to educators, and they're trying to work on improving that. And this council plays a big part in that. So it will absolutely impact. I teach personal finance and AP macroeconomics, so it has a huge impact on those classes.
Megan, have you ever been to Chicago?
No, I have not. Have you?
Yeah, I have, for a family vacation, and it was a lot of fun.
I know, I heard they have a lot of great shopping there and many other things, but I've never been there. I'd like to see what it's like comparing Chicago to Omaha.
Hello, this is Brianna Davis with the Wildcat Report. The Windy City, known for their deep dish pizza and strong-standing Willis Tower. Being a city of opportunity, Chicago has so much to offer to visitors, home to 2.7 million residents compared to the 421,000 in Omaha.
Right now, I'm staying at the Hilton on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. Why, you asked? For the holiday break. Now, what does Chicago have to offer that Omaha does not?
1,544 rooms for strictly guests are located in the 29-story Hilton Hotel on Michigan Avenue, downtown Chicago. Overlooking Grant Park in Lake Michigan, the Hilton was officially opened to the public in 1927. While making my way around the hotel, exploring different floors in the lobby, I was attracted by the ringing notes of black and white keys.
I retired in 2005, and I've always liked the Hilton. And I was coming down the Hilton one day. This is an open piano here. And I like to come down and play on this open piano. I come down more than anybody else. So one day the night manager was here, and I asked him could play her regularly. He said, yeah. So he said, it's not a salary job, but he said I could play her for background music when nothing was happening and no functions were going on. So I've been coming down here last few years and playing for functions. You get to meet people from all over the world, you know. The thing is, I'm in love with music. Music is to me like breathing, And even though I'm mainly a composer, I love to play. It makes no difference what race you are, what country you are. Everybody just likes music, you know?
Deep dish pizza is not the only food Chicago is known for. The diverse amount of restaurants become extremely overwhelming. My mom is Filipino, so of course she made it a priority to visit a Filipino restaurant, Uncle Mike's Place.
There's a lot of Filipino restaurants here in the city. Most of them are like just pure Filipino restaurants, and some are like a fusion and a mix. But us, we're like a diner, American diner that serves Filipino breakfast. The diner has been operational for 22 years, and they introduced the Filipino food 5 years ago, and it kind of like made people go here, and then they think now of the restaurant as a Filipino restaurant instead of an American diner. People should come here because to have a taste of what like a Filipino breakfast is, and we give a lot. I mean, our portions are very big, and then normally we have a lot of giveaways. We have free soup and free tea, and you can't really have that in other restaurants, and the food is really good.
Chicago has an assortment of cultural institutions and museums for tourists. It has been over 12 years since I've been to the Field Museum of Natural History, and all I could remember at 5 years old was the ginormous elephant statues towering over me. On my visit, I finally returned.
Well, this is a museum about natural history. It's not about man-made artifacts or whatnot. It's about history of things that's found naturally in the world, which gives a chance for people to look back in history with hopes to the future.
It is natural history, and there's a lot to learn here about our past, and we can use that to go into the future with the knowledge.
On an average Saturday, a few thousand people. Now is the holiday, so we've got about 8,000 people in today.
We've had days where we've had over 10,000 guests. Just the sheer numbers between the school groups, visitors, tours. It's just amazing. Just the excitement of seeing families and kids coming for the first time. That's what you love about it. It's the reason people come back to work every day, no matter how hard or stressful that day may be.
I would say the best part is the people, interacting with the different people. It's like an exhibit of humanity to me.
I like the different guests you see. We have guests from all over the world, as well as students from here in Chicago. It's just an interesting mix, and there's always something new to discover.
From Soldier Field to Memorial Field, and Willis Tower to Woodman Tower, Chicago and Omaha are almost 500 miles away from each other. I'd have to agree with Frank Sinatra when he says, Chicago is my kind of town. This has been Brianna Davis reporting.
Candygrams are being sold until December 18th. They are sold during lunch, and they're only 50 cents.
Candy is a great way to decorate gingerbread houses, and there's a great display in the office.
As winter sets in around the city, yearly traditions unveil themselves. At Millard West, that means cold mornings, cramming for finals, and for Susan Waldron's cooking class, gingerbread houses.
Only culinary skills makes the gingerbread houses.
It's a week-long process. The dough is made from scratch. All the candy was provided by our teacher, Mrs. Waldron. We're the only house made from scratch.
And they have to do math calculations and use stencils to figure out the dimensions of the homes.
Using mise en place, a French term meaning putting in place, students arranged their ingredients before turning them into real gingerbread. To onlookers, the finished product seemed good enough to eat. Almost.
I think the kids did a great job. They all look really good and they're creative. I hear people comment on, we wish we could taste them because they look so nice.
You're not supposed to eat a gingerbread house because they're for decoration and they've been sitting out for a long time.
The gingerbread houses will continue to tempt those who visit the attendance, activities, and guidance offices. Mrs. Waldron and her students hope teachers will pay special attention to their piping and details.
We are having a voting take place, and the winning home, those 4 individuals are going to win a prize.
If we win, Mrs. Waldron bought the winning group a prize, but we don't know what it is yet.
Could be a whisk.
We are not allowed to do anything for our gingerbread house. We are just supposed to sit back and let the teachers decide, so we cannot tell them who made which one. but hopefully we win. Vote for Gingerbread House A.
Until a winner is named on December 20th, the houses will continue to bring joy to the people they're near.
I think it's nice having them in the offices. There's been a lot of staff that have come through and looked at them, and gives us something to talk about and see each other. And I think they're festive. It's nice to have in the office.
That's why Mrs. Waldron will donate them to several retirement homes in the area on the 20th, as well as one a little farther away.
The one in Elkhorn is not in our area, but I decided on that one as an added nursing home because my father-in-law was there for a long time.
Whether on display in a retirement home, in an office at Millard West, or on a kitchen counter, Gingerbread houses enliven the atmosphere for the holiday season. This has been Allie Zimmer reporting.
For seniors who are planning to go on to college, there are 50 scholarships available on Naviance through the Millard Public Schools Foundation.
Signing up for colleges or finding out where you want to go could be very stressful, so let's see how some seniors are handling it.
As the end of the year approaches, many seniors scramble to complete last-minute college applications, stressing many students out.
I want to play volleyball in college, and then I want to get my bachelor's degree in education, elementary ed, and then while I teach, I want to get my master's in speech path.
I remember I was applying to different schools, and they had all different deadlines, and then I had like schoolwork that I had to do too, so I was just kind of like managing my time between like work and school and when I could apply, so yeah, it was a lot to take on.
It's super stressful just because it's just like you have to apply for them and then you have to worry about getting accepted and whatnot, so that's all.
I'm an editor-in-chief for Yearbook. I'm the vice president of Senior Class Board. I'm involved in 40 Assets. I volunteer regularly outside of school. I work a lot outside of school, and I have all the scholarship college stuff that I have to think about, so it all takes a lot of time, and every night I try to save a little bit of time for college and scholarships so I can get that all done and apply for as many as I can.
I would say, like, other than like transcripts, like the essays that like come with the applications, because you have to like focus on like doing like some applications. I know I did one for University of Colorado at Boulder, and you have to write 2 essays, and just like getting those in by the deadline and like having everything else sent in too is just like really stressful.
My parents bought a scholarship book, and like they're going through and marking all the ones that I can do.
I feel like there's so many scholarships that I can apply for, but there's so many that I obviously can't apply to all of them, and the deadlines are coming up really soon, and I feel like I can't get all the ones I want to do done by the time the deadlines are.
Along with applications and deadlines, the last ACT seniors can take is coming up December 14th.
I've taken the ACT 2 or 3 times, I think. And then I'm taking it again in 2 weeks, December. And then I've been studying a lot for it, but it's stressful.
I'm studying for the ACT a lot. It'll be my 9th time taking the ACT this December.
Not only are seniors preparing for the college experience, but teachers and counselors have been helping these students also.
We've had a number of Monday morning QT sessions with different groups, such as college professors, college admissions officials, etc. So students can option into any of those activities to learn more about the college process. Finally, students are always welcome to come to our offices and make appointments with regard to our individual student planning. This is a stressful time of the year because college applications are due and students do have finals. And I would say for those students, they should try to look in applying to 1 to 2 schools. Maybe they're schools in the area that they know that they consider, because oftentimes what they'll find is that an application such as the one for UNO or UNK, UNL will only take them 15 to 20 minutes. And so once they get 1 or 2 applications done, they start to find the process is much easier than they envisioned it to be.
Although the college process is very stressful, the counselors are always there to help you. So stop in and get started now. This has been Kenzie McGinn with the Wildcat Report.
This is all that we have for you this week. This has been Faith Cain
and Meghan Sharp with the Wildcat Report.